Greetings duelist and welcome to another video. So yesterday was the sneak peek of Cyberstorm Access at my locals. I went in, I did one entry pack. I might make a showing of what I pulled on my entries, but TLDR, I pulled the Gold Pride spell card. Better luck next time. So I might make a deck profile with that very soon because I do have all the old Gold Pride stuff, and I also have the Punk cards, and I also have another engine I kind of want to try out alongside that. However, right now, what I'm gonna do here is show the deck I ended up building yesterday. If you've been seeing this channel by now, and you've been tuned in the past week, you probably already know what I'm gonna showcase. But yeah, I'm gonna go through the list real quick. I'll go through some changes that I might have done different from the past profile, and like some things that I noticed while I was playing the deck, and probably some changes I'm gonna do. It's still not set in stone if this is my deck for the current format. However, I am having a lot of fun with it, and I am enjoying it a lot. And the more I keep playing this deck, the more I keep finding stuff that are interesting to play in it, and the more intricate plays and lines that I see against like other strategies that are popular in the format. So you know how I always have this field center. This field center was predicated to like the last set. This is gone. Say goodbye. Now this is my new field center. You're gonna see this in all my deck profiles now until the next set arrives. Yeah, kind of random, but here we go. To Prismas, I'll explain ratios right after. To Reichard, to Visas. That's it for the Visas engine. 3 blue. Jet red. That's it for sprites. Tin Can, Dark Lady, Slip Rider, Triple Strawman, Triple Dark Destroyer. Miscellaneous cards. Kurikara, Ghost Ogre, Nightmare Corruptor. This will probably get banned soon, but as long as it's legal, we're gonna play it. That's the phrase people say these days, right? Rayphobia, Arrival, A Hero Lives, Emergency Teleport, Small World, Reasoning, Kozmo Town, Talents, and the last card in the deck is Double Cross. Extra deck. Lightheart, Crosscheap, IP, Phoenix, Charmer, Unicorn, Appaloosa, Goddess, Double Vicious Asteroid, Baron, Chaos Angel, Mannequin Cat, Gigantic Sprite. Okay, so explanations. In my last list, I was not playing Reasoning. I was only playing one copy of Small World. Let's see what else is different. I think the Scarecrow ratios were fine. Iblis is also new. Oh, the Kurikara was not in the main deck. These were all the same. The sprite ratios were also the same. And I bumped Prisma to 2. I think those were the changes. The main cards that I cut for them, I think, were 2 of the sprite chips. I think I cut 2 of the sprite chips. Not sprite, Kozmo. 2 of the Kozmo cards. I was playing 3 talents before I kind of downed the number. And I think that's it. But yeah, I cut a few of the Kozmo cards. I cut a few like other cards as well. So I guess I'll explain the reasoning behind everything. I'll start with the second Prisma. I've been opening a Hero Lives plus Prisma a lot. Like, it's been happening a lot, and it was very annoying. So I just pretty much told myself, yeah, I don't want to keep breaking on this unorthodox combination of cards. Like, if you do the math, you shouldn't realistically open both, like, very, very often. But it has happened in a couple duels already, and it got really annoying. So I just figured, I'll just up the second Prisma and if I open it, I open it. If I it's not the worst thing in the world. This card is a 1-card starter to the Visa's engine, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But I was just very annoyed at opening a Hero Lives plus Prisma a lot, so I just figured, like, if I'm going to keep opening Prisma, at least I want to free summon out of it if I have to end up summoning this. This card is also bad versus with Visa Starfrost, because they're both light warriors, but it's a risk I kind of thought of taking. Kurikara. So I don't know how the format is looking like, but as of right now, I think Expurely Noir, Kashtira Arise Heart, Baron the Floor, Appaloosa, just to name a few outliers, are going to be popular among M boards from your opponent. And I just kind of wanted a card that deals with all of those. I only have one Kurikara at the moment, but at the same time, the deck is already teched out with a myriad of options, so I don't want to break on it. Which comes to the conclusion of upping Small World. I upped the copy of Small World because Small World can bridge into anything in my deck. And Kurikara serves as a bridge for other cards. Like, she shares 1500 with Visa Starfrost. She shares being a fire attribute with Sprite Red. She shares being a level 1 with Kozmo Tin Can. So overall, I just figured she shares 1500 attack with Reichhardt as well, the Scareclaw. So yeah, I just figured, hey, just have a card that can search for it if I do end up needing it. And if I open it, fine. If I don't open it, then it's just a utility card. Nightmare Corruptor. People are not playing around this card. Like, I've been seeing a lot of lists, like including Super Heavy Samurai, for example, and they're not playing. Like, they actually really struggle if you summon this. Like, and I just kind of arrived at the conclusion is that if you're facing Purely and you're facing like Super Heavy Samurai and you're facing like other decks, they just like, if they have the out, they have the out, right? But if they don't, like, this is just going to be very annoying for them, because they'll pretty much have to spend their battle phase or another summon on this. And my end board usually ends with IP double cross, so like, it's just really hard for your opponent if they just can't have a way to deal with this. I usually go for double cross first, but if I end up opening my sprite cards, then I summon this after. This card is also not a terrible draw because she can bring back Lightheart for Grave, because the arrow is pointing to her. So you can link away with this. You can link this away for another copy of itself, and then link away that, and then it becomes a +1. Like, she can bring. I'm also playing multiple nightmares, so like she can bring them back as well. So yeah, I just thought like this isn't like the worst inclusion in my deck. So that's it for that. Reasoning. This is kind of risky because I am playing a plethora of level 2s, and if your opponent catches on to what you're playing, like the number 2, it's a very saturated number because that's the most amount of levels that I'm playing. However, I just figured this was a very good wild card because there were so many cards that you can summon out of this that actually benefit you. Like, this can summon like the Visa stuff. This can summon like a Kozmo pilot. This summoning sprite blue makes it like a +3 pretty much. Like a Kozmo ship. If you summon Destroyer, it's the Kozmo combo that I usually do with it. Even summoning Ghost Ogre is not that bad because even though Ghost Ogre is a hand trap, Ghost Ogre works on the field as well. So it actually functions as well for an interruption. So yeah, I just wanted more cards that like freely summon monsters on my board. That's why I maxed out on Teleport, and that's why I maxed out on Hero Lives. So yeah, like the more cards you have that can summon monsters, the better it is, because sometimes during your combo you do end up tribute summoning for like a Kozmo ship or like Dark Lady, for example. And as unorthodox as that sounds, it actually works out. But yeah, those were kind of like the additions that I made to the deck. My board breaker of choice is now Triple Talents. I just figured like this is a hand trap heavy format. I think we're going to get hand trapped a lot by a lot of decks, which makes this card like very efficient. If you go second, this is a really good board breaking card as well. It's a good card for forbidding interruptions. So yeah, I'm just a big fan of this card in general, and I just feel like this format kinda is fitted for it. Like, as much as I want to play cards like Dark Ruler and like Nibiru and like Droll, like other cards like that, I just felt like this was like one of the most safer picks because this doesn't conflict with Reasoning as well. And like it's just a really good card going first or second. But that was like my reasoning behind those. Yeah, the main deck is active 40 cards right now. I kind of want to keep it that way. It's very hard because there's a lot of cards that I kind of was testing, like a lot of ratios. I was like maxing out the Visas engine at one point. I was playing Sprite Starter with other Sprite cards as well at one point as well. Like I did wanted to play more hand traps. I think on my dueling book profile I played Nib. Like, it's just one of those things. So extra deck, I think everything is standard from the last list, from what you saw. Um, but one card I did wanted to play was Salaman Great Almirage. The only card I thought about cutting was like the second copy of Vicious Asteroid, but as weird as it sounds, this does come up because I am playing multiple copies of the Visa stuff. The second reason this comes up is because there is a combo that ends on you resummoning Prisma, and Prisma dumping Visa Starfrost is not hard once per turn, so you can turn it into Visas if you reveal a second Asteroid. So that's one of the reasons behind that. But yeah, I just felt like this card is also really good in the grand game if you play it properly, depending on how you build, how you deck build. So yeah, I just really like the card in general. I thought like, and playing Almirage just to unbreak your hands kind of puts you in a losing spot anyway, because you're dedicating a card in your extra for like a play that's not standard, just so you can play around like your bricks. And I kind of one of those YOLO people. I'm like, if I get hand trapped, so be it. If I get disrupted, so be it. If I brick, so be it. Like, I don't try to be cute just to like make the deck more playable, because the deck is already a gimmicky deck to begin with. So just having stuff like gravitate towards that is like strange. I'm not gonna show my side deck because like there's a lot of room for innovation. We don't know the format yet. I don't know how popular purely or six samurais, super heavy samurais are going to be at my locals. But yeah, I will show a few things though. One card I was testing out in the main deck, but it's in my side, is Dark Eclipser. I figured if I go first, I want a card for evenly matched, and this was like one of the better ones because you can't imperm this either. And if you could imperm this can negate imperm. So it's just a really good card. Also against trap decks, like this card's pretty much an FTK. Like, not only can this negate traps, but it's untargetable and it floats. So it's like, good luck getting rid of this. One other card I guess I should talk about is Crossout. Crossout mainly for Droll. Like, I already explained it in my Skirt Club profile, but I feel like this card is going to be very, very popular now. So I wouldn't even fault you for maining this. Like, it's just one of those cards that you will see in a lot of decks. Same thing as Ghost Ogre. Like, it's just one of those cards that you're probably gonna see a lot. So just experimenting with the format is pretty much fine. The last engine I want to talk about, and I found it very interesting for Kozmo. There's a new comment that came out in Cyberstorm Access. I forgot about that card until I read it, and I pulled it in Sneak, and I was like, this card is really, really good for a deck like Kozmo. The card I'm talking about is Trap Tracks. For those who don't know, what Trap Tracks does is you target one monster you control, you pop it, and if you do, you set a normal trap. So this can set Double Cross, but other cards that I'm also considering alongside Trap Tracks is Cosmojo and Dimensional Barrier. So something that I was thinking about is I play a mid-level ship, something between level 6 and 7. So if I open any of those ships, like for like Dark Destroyer, has set a Forerunner, or like a Dogfighter for example, you can pop it with Trap Tracks. Well, I'm talking about higher level, my bad. because the way it would work is like you trap tracks the Dark Destroyer or Forerunner. They would summon like another ship that's higher than level 5. You set Cosmojo out of trap tracks, and then you can Cosmojo the level 6 or 7 that you summon, and that will summon Dark Lady, and Dark Lady is another interruption. So that's kind of like the theory I thought about when it came to this card. And it's not really that hard getting to a big Cosmo ship. Like you have, like if you resolve Tin Can, you can just reveal 3 big ships, like a 6, a 7, and an 8, and you pretty much have it. But yeah, I just thought it was a really cool card to bring up. And it doesn't have to set Cosmojo. You can set other cards like Dimensional Barrier, which is going to be very, very popular because of Purely. But yeah, other things to talk about. So yesterday I played against a couple decks. I played against Samurai. I played against Sword Soul. I played against Dinosaurs. I played against Branded. I played against Scareclaw. Scareclaw Adventure. Shout outs to that person. I know where you're coming with that. And I also faced Mekanko, like a pure Mekanko deck. It played Prosperities. It played like a lot of non-engine cards. They played Kaijus. It played Lava Golem. It played like and it played a lot of disruptive cards as well. That deck is annoying, by the way. Like honestly, my advice is you try to learn what that deck does, because if you do face against it and you're not prepared for it, you might lose. Like the new level 3 that they got makes everything untargetable, and they already have destruction protection with equip spells. So basically, they have an entire board of Magic Specters, and if you don't out them, they will just like vomit all over your board. And they have like an insane Reborn spell that kind of lets them do that. But yeah, I faced against a few of those decks, and some things that I learned was against Sword Soul and Super Heavy Samurai, I summoned Dark Chaos Angel and I just won. Like they had no out. Like I know Super Heavy Samurai has like the Kaiju as an out, but you need to consider the fact that they need to get to it. So if you put this as part of your inboard alongside Baron and like stuff like IP, Double Cross, like a Cosmo ship, like it's really, really hard to out. And it's extra annoying for your opponent because it makes the Baron the floor even harder to out. I faced a Dinosaur player. The guy UTC'd me. I had both of these on board and IP. I let the UTC go through, and before he went to battle phase, what I did was I IP'd the conductor with both the synchros, and I made the Underworld Goddess, and it was pretty much a wrap. But yeah, like that's just one example out of many. But a few stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about. But yeah, that was the Cosmo deck profile. I guess one other thing I will talk about is this card's nuts. Like I summoned a lot of cool things out of this. Like this is a very, very fun card. I think this makes a deck like this one very worth playing. This is also really good with trap tracks because if you end up summoning Cosmo ship out of this, then you have your catalyst for the trap tracks. And then if you play the Cosmojo, then it becomes like you vomit more and more other options. Yeah, random thought aside, ignore that. I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. I hope you stay tuned. More videos coming soon, most likely. Not necessarily with this deck profile, with this deck, but probably other decks. But yeah, keep practicing and keep dueling. See ya, guys.